Good afternoon, everyone. It's the moment you've been waiting for. It is penguin enrichment time. We're going to have some fun with our birds. But just so you know, enrichment is something that can be mentally stimulating, give physical exercise, or help with animal husbandry. And that's a fancy word for animal health care. So we have a lot of special things for our birds. We're going to see what they're interested in. We're going to have some bubbles and all kinds of things. And I'll be on and off the mic kind of explaining what's going on. But basically, it is World Penguin Day, not World Seagull Day. And we want to make sure that we celebrate our penguins. So I'm going to go ahead and give them some ice enrichment. We have a really cool cake that says World Penguin Day. Only problem with ice enrichment is it melts pretty fast. So as soon as it goes into the water, it's going to last about a couple of minutes and we're going to see what our birds are going to do. We're just going to have some fun, so stay tuned. All right, if you're just joining us, we gave our birds some enrichment. They're kind of ignoring the ice treats that took me like an hour and a half to make, but that's okay. That's what enrichment is all about. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's a really cool cake. I did not make this. This goes to one of our mammalogists, Erin. The seal and sea lion area has all kinds of awesome enrichment, so I kind of stole one of them to make an awesome penguin cake. So we're going to see what they're going to do with this. They kind of push them around with their bills. This is all about fun. So enrichment, sometimes it's more successful for us than it is for the animals. We just have a good time with it. These guys really do have a really good sense of sight. So they're very, very visual. So if you notice, the bubbles are pretty exciting for them. And everything that we give them is approved through our veterinarian. Again, welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. We're having a fun enrichment session for our birds. This is part of our World Penguin Day celebration. You can notice Miss D here is not as great on land as she is in the water. These guys are made for life in the water. Spend about 75% of their life in there. They really only come on land to mate and to molt. Right now we're in the middle of their breeding season, so you aren't going to see all of our birds out on exhibit. Right now, a lot of them are hanging out in their burrows. All right, again, welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. My name is Sarah, and it is my lucky job to take care of these 23 Magellanic penguins 5 days a week. So I know them quite well. Everybody has a little bit of a different personality, and everybody enjoys different things. So if you notice, we have one of our social media representatives up here, Madeline. They're interested in her, reflections, all kinds of stuff. These are all of our younger penguins. Our birds' ages range from 11 months to 16 years old, so we have quite a variety of ages with us out here. 13 of them did hatch here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. Roxy and Floyd have actually had 7 out of the 13 chicks that have hatched here at the aquarium. And we're giving them some enrichment. This isn't something that we do every single day for them. Well, we do give them enrichment every day. It's just not the stuff that you're seeing right here. Some of this stuff we use weekly, sometimes monthly. We don't want to give them something all the time that they aren't super interested in. So you can kind of see they were a little bit interested in the ice treats. This right here is D. D is a juvenile, along with Cleo here, not to be outdone. Wally is out there somewhere. He's the 3rd juvenile that we had last year. So if you're wondering what's going on out here, we're just having an enrichment session for our penguins. They're checking out the bubbles. They're checking out us. They're very curious animals. Today is World Penguin Day, and something that I learned is that the oldest penguin fossil, a penguin relative fossil, is 62 million years old. So penguins have been on this planet for a really long time. One of my favorite adaptations that they have is that they lost that ability to fly in the air, but they definitely fly in the water. They have flippers, they're wings, but they're modified into flippers so they can propel themselves throughout the water. And again, it's World Penguin Day, so make sure you take pictures, tell everybody how cool penguins are, because we definitely know they're the coolest animals out there. I'm going to try to send this cake towards you guys. I just flipped it over. Well, maybe they'll be a little bit more interested in it. Penguins are very, very interesting animals. They're very curious, but they're also a prey species, so that makes them very aware of their surroundings. animals, there are different things that interest them. And with penguins, their bills are very sensitive. They're made out of keratin, same things as our hair and fingernails, but they do have nerve endings in them. So they feel different textures, and different textures feel differently to them. So they kind of like to push stuff around, but they're not necessarily food motivated. So they might eat some of these fish in this fish cake we made them, or they might leave them alone. We never really know what these guys are going to do. It's one of the fun parts of working with them. It's always a new day with them. I want to thank you guys so much for spending your day here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We are a non-profit institution, so your paid admission is going right back to these animals, whether it's to help us take care of them or help feed them. You're making a difference here at the Aquarium, so we really do thank you for that. But it is World Penguin Day, everyone, so happy World Penguin Day. We'll be out here for a few more minutes doing some enrichment, and then at about 3:45, I will be giving these guys their dinner for the day. They get fed 2 to 3 times a day, kind of depending on them. We offer them restaurant quality herring and capelin. Looks like Gats is getting a little interested in that enrichment. Magellanic penguins are native to South America, so one of the more common questions is, why don't you have any ice or snow in your habitat? And these guys don't actually, I don't think so. These guys don't actually need ice or snow to survive. In fact, they're going to go pretty much their whole lives without seeing ice or snow. There are really only 3 ice or snow dependent penguins out there. Some people say there are 17 species. Some people say that there are 18 species. But there are different kinds of penguins, but what you're looking at are Magellanic penguins. They are in the banded penguin family, along with the African Humboldt and Galapagos penguin. These guys are very, very visual, so if something catches their eye, that gets all of their attention. We are in the middle of their breeding season. I promise we do have 23 Magellanic penguins, but a lot of them are hanging out behind the scenes right now. We're just having a nice enrichment session with our birds, giving them an opportunity to see new and different things. I have actually given them an iPad before, and I was going to bring that out here, but it didn't have any charge, so I apologize. But if you go to the Aquarium's YouTube, you can get to, or Facebook, you can get a chance to see how our animals interact with an iPad. There's a game on there called Games for Cats, and it has a mouse or a butterfly or a red dot running across the screen, and they can chase it with, in their case, their bill. I gave it to my cats and they liked it, so I thought it might work with penguins since they're so visual. These guys are a lot of fun to work with. They give me laughs every single day. They are my buddies. Magellanic penguins are near threatened. There's about 1.2 million breeding pairs of them out there. This is Dee right here. She's actually named after Dr. Dee Boersma. And Dee studies these birds in their natural habitat, and she actually got their largest breeding colony protected. Now she's working on getting the ocean protected surrounding their habitat. Unfortunately, we eat the same fish that these guys eat, so commercial fishing boats go out there. They collect some of the food, which is okay in moderation, but we say that if we left about a third of the ocean supply out there, we'd be okay. And we're taking a little bit more than that, so we want to make sure we leave enough food out there for the animals. If you follow the Aquarium of the Pacific, you might have gotten a chance to see, I got to go to South Africa. So there's a penguin rescue in South Africa called Sandcob. And they are really trying to help out the African penguin. So there's about 25,000 breeding pairs of African penguins out there, so they are definitely endangered. And Sandcob's job is to help kind of rehabilitate, rescue, and re-release those animals back to their natural habitat. So I was lucky enough to get a chance to do that. So if you check out our website, you can kind of get a chance to learn a little bit about Sandcob too. African penguins are related to Magellanic penguins. Hyperspeed. I can't get the consistency of the bubbles right, but at least she's having fun. I just realized that there are like 2 birds in the water, and they're all back over here. So I'll tell you a little bit more about these guys, and then we're going to go ahead and let them go back to their original scheduled penguin program. But Magellanic penguins are in the banded penguin family, along with the African Humboldt and Galapagos penguins. They happen to only breed once a year. So it's pretty cool because right now is breeding season for our Magellanic penguins, and all of our pairs are paired up. They're hanging out in their burrows. Sometimes you can catch little glimpses of them. You might be able to see their tail sticking out of their burrow. But when they lay eggs, the female, of course, lays the eggs, but both male and female do take care of the chicks. Incubate the eggs and also brood or help raise the chicks. They have something called a brood patch. It's a crease on their skin, on their belly, and that allows kind of overlaps, and it allows them to incubate that egg and also brood or raise that chick. They lay two eggs about 3 to 5 days apart, and it takes about 38 to 42 days for those eggs to hatch. Here at the aquarium, we let them stay with their parents for about 20 to 24 days, but after that period, they actually want to explore their surroundings. And in their natural habitat, there are a lot more predators, so they're a lot more aware of their surroundings. Here they feel pretty safe, so what they'll try to do is actually go through that burrow all the way into the water, and they're not quite waterproof yet. It's supposed to be a gradual thing. So we take them into a nursery. That's where you were. Well, you were an egg this time last year. But we take them into our nursery for about 2 months. We teach them how to be penguins. They really know how to be penguins, but we just kind of help them out a little bit. And then a month after that, they hang... Oh, right when I turned it off. And then about a month after that, they go to the habitat. Sorry, I get distracted by hanging out with the penguins sometimes too. So you can see they really do have a good sense of sight. They also have a nictitating membrane. They blink sideways. And they are very special and awesome animals. So I want to thank you guys so much for celebrating World Penguin Day with us. We'll be out here for a few more minutes. And if you want to see them get their dinner, that's going to be at about 3:45. Might be a few minutes after that. What I'm actually doing right now, since most of our birds are hanging out in their burrows, I'm feeding them in their burrows. It's where they feel comfortable. The rest of these guys that you see hanging out with us, they will all eat on deck. And at the last feed of the day, they get really, really excited, so it's pretty fun to watch. We do record every single fish that they eat. We want a nice, accurate account of that. They get restaurant quality herring and capelin. And I want to say happy World Penguin Day, and thank you guys so much for hanging out here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We are a nonprofit institution, so your paid admission is going right back to these animals. If you're just joining us, happy World Penguin Day. We're finishing up an enrichment session for our penguins. We have 23 Magellanic penguins here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. This right here is Dee. She's 11 months old. Her parents are Floyd and Roxy. And that was a stare. He's 2 going on 3. And Fisher is learning how to build a nest, so he's trying to take some enrichment into his burrow right now, which is interesting. So it's my lucky job to work with these guys 5 days a week, so I know their personalities pretty well. Everybody's a little bit different. It's pretty easy to learn their personalities just through observations and spending time with them, learning what they like, what they don't like. Sometimes these guys like to be fed in a certain way. Sometimes they only like herring. Sometimes they only like capelin. Sometimes they want to eat a lot. Sometimes they don't want to eat too much. But we do lots of observations of these guys. So we have to learn to speak their language since they don't speak ours. So the easiest way to do that is to just kind of sit back and observe them. So as you guys have been out here, you're probably getting a chance to know them too. All right, we're going to start to end our enrichment session, but I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with our Magellanic penguins. It is World Penguin Day, so definitely share that with as many people as you possibly can. They are very special animals, and we are celebrating them today. If you want to see them get fed, that's going to be at about 3:45. Enjoy the rest of your day here at the aquarium, and happy World Penguin Day.